Hello everybody and welcome back to Victoria, where I believe that this is likely to be the final episode of this series, and we're going to proceed on through here. Liberia are embargoing us. Cool. And we've got a few rebellions going on over here and some lag as well. But we have oil in Outer Houseland. Wonderful. So we're absolutely going to... Never mind, we can't build it. We don't actually get the oil. It must be in Outer Houseland, but not actually controlled by us. So Outer Houseland is up here. Okay. So that includes Gobir and part of Bornu. Got it. So that must be where those are located. That's fine. We are, of course, working on our constructions here, and we're making solid progress on that. We're pretty negative financially right now. By the end of this episode, I want to get that turned around. Although, to be clear, all we have to do to turn around our finances is this. Boom. Finances turned around. So that is an option, but it's not a good one, right? I would prefer to have our constructions proceeding, and we're, of course, going to have them proceed. Our ports are going to be done shortly here. We've got 4 weeks on a bunch of iron mines. Oil rigs and fars, tea plantations, yeah. So we're going to get through these plantations quite quickly, with the exception of some of these in Hyderabad, which is very, very low construction efficiency. But a lot of these other tea plantations are going to finish up very quickly. However, as we can see, there's a lot of them. A lot of tea plantations. The arms industries are less big of a deal. That's mostly just trying to get jobs done, right? Now, down over here, these were all reduced because of low construction efficiency. However, there's these government administrations. I don't think we queued these up. These two have progress on them already. We're going to finish those. But the rest of these government administrations in this queue, we're going to get rid of. These are very... Oh, that was a logging camp because it reset on us. Okay. We're going to have to re-queue that logging camp. That's fine. We do that right at the bottom. So we queue the logging... Yep, this is fine. We queue that logging camp at the bottom. Actually, there's a fair amount of them in North Angola that we can do, but there we go. Perfect. Actually, I think that was only the one. I probably don't know how to do math, but that's okay. That is completely fine. The French Republic has sided with the French Republic against Spain. Okay, good job, French Republic. Always good when they side with themselves. I like it. Oh, there's still a government administration here. Get rid of that. We do not need it. Okay, phenomenal. So we're going to get these 2 government administrations that did have progress done. Ports and oil rigs are going to be finishing up shortly. How are we doing on our actual number of unemployment? We're almost out of peasants. We are up to 66.8 unemployment right now. Keep in mind that's basically a third unemployment rate. That's why we do have a problem here. We're working on it. So that's okay for the moment. We need to get these constructions finished up. So we're going to have no problem taking over this territory, right? That's absolutely no issue whatsoever. And then they'll get redirected down over here when this breaks out. That'll be a thing eventually. For the time being, that's fine. We are sitting at 85% literacy. That's not bad. Our standard of living could definitely be brought up. I'm just looking at this. It's mostly our standard of living in India, and that's almost entirely to do with taxation at this moment. But the reason the taxation is so high is because we're building the infrastructure to be able to support this, right? So we're going to get all of these tea plantations in Hyderabad done very, very soon here. Those are actually very close to being done. And that's really, really solid. We're down to a mere 1152 government constructions in the construction queue. That sounds like a lot. And it is. We have a secession movement growing in Bengal as well. Well, we'll deal with that. I want to check in on our state situations. I think... Oh, we can actually build a skyscraper? Apparently we can build a skyscraper in South Bengal. Okay. Sure. We'll queue that up in there as well. That's fine. So reset production methods in British Travancore, yes. That needs to happen. And, yep, that has broken out. I believe that we may need to do an incorporation there, too. Yes. Okay, so this is broken out down here. We should probably get Martin McLagan down over here and send him down this way. Okay. Now, the Bengali succession, or rather secession, will be awkward for us, no doubt about that, but we're going to have this all taken over very soon here. For the moment, this is fine. We're down to 750 now. I mean, 1123, but 750 in the queue that are not being worked on, more particularly. We're about to have a bunch more finish up, and this is inefficient construction, so that's incredibly good for us to finish inefficient construction. Radical Ecuador. Okay. Well, I wish them luck with that. Railway in Delhi finishing. We should probably check in on our infrastructure status. Oh, yeah. We need 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here. We need 1 here. We need 1 here, 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 and here. Okay. So that's a bunch of additional railways added up, right? Hey, we got the achievement Inventive. Research all the technologies across all 3 categories. Okay. So that's great. We did get Battle Fleet Tactics, and we may as well upgrade that. I do want to subsidize all of the railway. There we go. So that'll be good. Just checking through here. Yeah, we really don't want to move to oil-fired power plants. We really don't. Are we on... For Glassworks, we are on Crystal Glass. Okay. Just wanted to double-check that. We don't have the oil to do anything else other than that, so that's fine for the moment. We should have forces on the way over here. I'd like to have these guys out over here. Han people are migrating from Austria-Hungary to our territory. Okay, we like that. So the radicalism is holding fairly firm in these areas. I'm not shocked about this at all. We are down to 831k peasants. We are up to almost 70 million unemployment. We're working on it. We are working on it. A big part of that, again, is the loss of arable land. And we are almost done with that, actually. We've only got 24 pages to go, and of those, we're constructing, like, 2/3 of them. So we're very, very close to having our arable land finished at this point. That's great. Railways here are not amazing. That definitely needs to drop in efficiency, but that's okay. So Bengali secession here is going to be North and South Bengal. Okay, that's going to be like here and here. Including this railway in North Bengal, which we should actually cancel then. Okay, so that sounds good. Nothing else is currently being actively constructed there, so this will be okay. Not too concerned about that. Yeah, this is going to break out very soon here, so I don't actually want to put these guys down. I think that we have all 4 of these up, right? 2? Only 2. Okay. So obviously we need to handle this situation, right? These guys capitulated very quickly, but we need to head out over here, and over here, and over here. Now, Bertram is not mobilized. I just want to check through the rest of these and make sure that they're not mobilized. They should not be. Okay, that's perfect. So no problem there. We'll get this dealt with, the Bengali uprising. That was a huge chunk of our radicals, actually, over in Bengal. Fascinating. So our tea plantations in Madras are making really, really solid progress here. Yeah, that's looking good. That was also a big chunk of our unemployment that was in Bengal. Okay, noted. I think we just haven't built there yet, primarily. I think that's a big part of it. So they just didn't give us enough time. It does take time to get all this built when you're that far behind. No doubt about it. British Raj was not doing a good job. We should have annexed this earlier. That's very clear. Very, very, very clear. So we're going to get a bunch of tea plantations done soon. As we can see here, there's only 400 items left in the queue that are not currently being constructed. 739 total items, meaning we're constructing like 300 at once. So that's going to be absolutely huge. Actually, our income is a lot better now too, minus 600k. Fascinating. That's probably because we lost all those unemployment, and so we're not paying as much in welfare, is my guess. That's a fairly minor drop. It certainly contributed to it, I think. And we have some unrealized taxes here, too. Almost 1 million. That's almost certainly due to... Wow, our radicalism dropped so much. Okay. Yeah, it's going to go back up, probably, when we reconquer this. But that's okay. That's okay. We are, of course, at a pariah of 700. No shockers there. So that's okay. We're going to get a lot of radicalism from conquest. That's just the way it works. So our tea plantations are going to be done very, very soon here. On this week tick, we're going to get a bunch of them done. How many more pages of these do we have? We're working actively on the arms industries now. So it looks like 10 weeks at this point until our tea plantations are done. Beautiful. And then we're just working on the arms industries, although we do have these rubber plantations and fishing wharves here. I think I'm going to move these up. It's awkward because of... And yeah, these are going to move. It's awkward because of the status of... Where did they go? Oh, wow. We're actually getting a lot of pages done at a time. It's awkward because of the status of the construction efficiency here, but I want to get this done. Did we move up any of those arms industries? If so, it doesn't really matter that much, but we didn't. Okay. So as you can see, these are very, very low construction efficiency, right? But it is beginning to drop. So that's good. I wouldn't mind dropping taxes. It's really non-viable right now, though. Really, really, really non-viable at this moment. We need to get this war completed and get these guys back into the fold. And in the meantime, we're working on all these constructions here. Oh, there is an arms industry that got moved up. Okay, let's move that down. Cool. Keep in mind, yes, we have some low construction efficiency stuff happening here, but we also have some relatively decent construction efficiency stuff happening. That is definitely a thing that's happening. So it's awkward is the answer. But we need to get these jobs built, and we need to get them built as soon as possible. Yeah, look at that. Our unemployment numbers are beginning to drop. We're out of peasants to convert into unemployed. We're down below 60 million unemployment now. That's a very, very good sign. So this war is going to be breaking out pretty soon. Nobody joined, right? Yeah, nobody joined. So that's absolutely great. Enact workers' protections. That's actually not good for us. Because, I mean, the minus dangerous working conditions is good. We already have that. This would give us plus 75% minimum wage, which is going to really, really harm our pricing because of price caps. So we're going to avoid that for the moment, and we're going to get there via subsidization and lowering taxes instead. That will be the goal. So we're going to have this war break out very soon. We're not going to have any problem breaking in here and crushing them. It's just a matter of the war needs to start, right? So that's fine. I'm hoping that these construction efficiencies improve a decent amount. I can't do it. I can't be building with construction efficiency this low in this many places. Not when we have other things that we can build. I really want to get those done. But we're not going to right now. Hyderabad, the railway, we're still going to build that there. Speaking of which, we probably need more infrastructure here, right? Yes, in fact, we need 2 additional here. We need 1 here. We need 1 here. And that'll do for now. Okay, so this war is about to break out. Beautiful. We're to get these railways done. We're currently 58 weeks away from allegedly completing our construction queue. That said, our construction queue is going to start reaching the end relatively soon. Our tea plantations are almost done. And then we've got all of these arms industries, right? So we're on 16 out of 26 at this point. Yeah, we're definitely making our way through that. These railways are going to be done very, very shortly. We're pushing in over here with absolutely no resistance in some of these fronts. So that's no problem. 2 weeks until our plantations are done. So looking at our unemployment numbers, they're continuing to drop, and they're going to drop even faster once we start actually working on industries at this point rather than plantations. That said, plantations are actually probably still okay right now. Yeah, Those are pretty okay. No doubt about it. An agitator has appeared. That's fine. We've only got 1 week left until our tea plantations are done. So that's wonderful. 59.2 million in unemployment right now is not great. We're going to get these arms industries complete, and we're going to get Bengal back into the fold very shortly. This is really not going to be much of a problem. Yeah, that's really not going to be much of a problem. It's pretty over already. They're just not willing to accept it. How are we doing on our elections here? Okay, 60% of the party, or 60% of the vote going to the communists seems fine. So we can continue to work with that. No problem whatsoever. We have seen our standard of living start to creep up, which is absolutely great. And we're 16 weeks away from our first round of arms industries finishing up. I'm going to move these arms industries here down because they're very low construction efficiency. So we're going to do something kind of like this. There we go. And we're going to move these guys down again as well. For the same reason. They're very low construction efficiency. And so we're not going to build those just yet when we can build others that are better construction efficiency. Not necessarily great construction efficiency, but better. Okay, we're down to 20 pages in the construction queue right now. Keep in mind, we're constructing 16 pages at a time almost. Actually, not currently. Currently it's 14. Okay, that's due to lower efficiency. That's fine. So we're really, really, really close to starting to see our construction costs drop. We have overly enthusiastic partisans, and we'll crack down on it. That seems fine. This war is very, very close to over at this point. There's not much that they can do. It's super done. Once we have our first round of arms industries finishing up, I don't expect that artillery is going to be expensive for very long, to be honest. We have some market access issues, but it's not too bad. And actually, Bengal just gave up. Phenomenal. So we're going to hop into our state actions. We can build a skyscraper in South Bengal. Yes, we knew that. And we can reset these production methods to our production methods. We can incorporate these. No, don't stop that. Incorporate these. There we go. And checking in here. Nothing to be built in either of those states. Okay, sounds good. I do want to check the status of railways there, though. Okay. We almost certainly, what we need more than anything here is to subsidize the railways here. Let's check in on the status of employment here. Okay, so this is actually decently employed, as is this. So we'll just assume that that's going to be relatively similar to the current numbers. And we're going to need... Actually, let's give this a tick. I'm not sure if this is correct at this moment. They might have turned down their methods. Their production methods. We'll see. Yes, bury our opponents in a sea of paper. This went up to 78. This went up to 56. Yeah, I think we're switching over to better production methods. 58. Okay, 61 and 82. This is definitely improving market access over here. So we'll give that a little bit. We'll come back to that in a moment. I want to check in here. We still have 20 pages being worked on for our buildings. 10 weeks left on our first round of arms industries. Beautiful. Cool. So there's not really all that much left here. There really, really isn't. Arms industries are going to take a while to construct, but once they start coming in, they'll start flowing in very nicely. And our construction is going to start dropping off fairly soon. That will allow us to drop taxes. That said, we are back up to 70 million unemployment because, I mean, there's a lot of unemployment over here. In fact, a lot of unemployment. What is the current... Let's see, I want to go into... What am I looking for here? I'm looking for construction efficiency. There's some devastation over here. Okay, what would we need? Let's check our market. What is expensive? Oil, wood, hardwood, lead, wood, iron, artillery, dye. We could work with dye. So what we would do here then is we would take synthetics plants down over here. So in North and South Bengal. Yeah, this seems good. I'm going to queue these up at the beginning of the queue. No construction inefficiencies here, so that sounds absolutely fine. We'll take this up to 48, and then this in North Bengal is going to go to 51. Now, North Bengal, I think, is going to need additional infrastructure, for sure. And putting this at the beginning of the queue means we have to queue them up one at a time, sadly. So, North Bengal is almost certainly going to need more here. I'm going to put in 1 in South Bengal, and then we're going to put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in North Bengal, and we'll see how that goes. Tripoli discovered oil. We can't build any oil rigs there, sadly. So for now, this is fine. We don't actually have negative... We have positive construction efficiency in Bengal right now. Cool. So that's absolutely great. We'll get these constructed relatively swiftly, and that'll get us some jobs in Bengal. I don't think that's going to get all of that unemployment dealt with, but it'll get us some jobs there. Yeah, we can see we're up to 70.1 million unemployment right now. Yep, that's about right. We do have our first round of arms industries starting to come in 4 weeks, though. So that is looking absolutely magnificent. Unfortunately, we are up to 26 pages of construction now, and we don't need this government administration. We'll cancel that. This construction efficiency is still quite low. Okay, noted. So this is all fine. We are going to start getting these finished up quite soon. Yeah, absolutely great here. However, we're incredibly close to the end of the game. I was hoping to get our finances fully turned around by the end of this episode. We'll see if that happens. I'm going to go beyond the end of the game a little bit here, because we're not quite at the end of the episode yet. But this is going to be the end of this series. No doubt about that. So let's get to the end here. And, of course, we're just building a lot of stuff over in these various areas, right? No doubt about that. We want to get this unemployment under control. So we're at 70.3 million now. Unemployment. We may actually need to further build construction, which would be mildly awkward. That would be mildly awkward. I would prefer not to have to do that. For now, though, these arms industries are getting to the point where we're wrapping up a significant chunk of them. Well, there's going to be a gap here. I was going to say nearly every week. There's the end of the game. Of course, we're going to continue going for a few... Wow, this is very laggy. Okay. It took it a moment to calculate that. So here's our GDP, our average standard of living. Yeah, you can tell when we annexed British Raj, but it was starting to come back up. Our prestige has been virtually on an exponential climb. Our population, you can tell when we annexed British Raj. And then when we had a rebellion. Yep. We're going to continue playing for just a little bit here, though. And we're going to play as British Republic. There we go. So this is not going to be a particularly long post-game session. That's for sure. But we're going to keep going for just a little bit here. So we just finished a bunch of arms industries. That's wonderful. The real question is, no, we're not going to join this. The real question is, can we drop our unemployment numbers on this level of construction, or do we need more construction? I don't know. It's an interesting question, to be sure. One thing we might actually want to consider doing is just throw caution to the wind, and I'm going to do this. Just throw caution to the wind and max out all of our construction. Now, I'm queuing these up at the bottom so that we can queue them up faster. But I think this is actually not a terrible concept at this point. It would allow us to build things incredibly quickly. In fact, we'd have a really hard time maxing out our construction, which means that mostly we wouldn't end up paying for this. There is a liberal revolt against us, which is hilarious. I wish them luck. Okay, there's a lot of locations here. Would this go faster with the game paused? Actually, yes, it would. Okay, so we're going to keep the game paused for a little bit here. Oh, okay. Apparently we're I'm not doing anything here. Apparently we were scrolling that. I don't know why it decided we were scrolling, but whatever. I guess we're scrolling. Cool. Well, not anymore, we're not. So let's get all of these queued up here. Absolutely, this is throwing caution to the wind at this point. Wow, we have a lot of states. Okay. This is a whole lot of states. Well, this is going to go a long ways towards dealing with our our unemployment problem. It's going to create other problems, no doubt about that. No doubt about that. Now, I want to come in here and move some of these down. So we're going to move the synthetics plants and onward down. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the recording here and get all of these moved, and we'll be back once this is done. See you guys in a moment. Okay, so I've gotten all of those moved, and we're now just going through here and getting all of these remaining construction sectors queued up. There are a few left to do, but if we sort it this way, it'll automatically move ones where we can't build them down to the bottom, so we can just sit here and spam click. I was under the impression by the time I was done with that, we would have been done with this queuing. Maybe I came back too soon. Well, regardless, it doesn't really matter. Let's just get this done. It looks like we're very, very close here. I think we have a lot of states. I don't know if you knew that. Okay, here we go. Perfect. We do have a lot of states. That is definitely the truth. Okay, so there's all of those construction sectors queued up. Now, some of them are still on the bottom, but some of them are here at the top. So we're going to tick on forward here, and we're just going to get all of these construction sectors finished up, and this is going to just snowball in a crazy sort of way. We've not moved these railways, although we could, in theory. We also do need to do something about this situation over here, so let's go send some amount of forces over here. Not you. We'll send Angus Kepi down here. That'll be fine. There we go. Cool. And we're going to get these construction sectors finishing up, starting very soon. This is going to be quite a thing. The Communist Party wins with 68% of the vote. Can we do any reformation? Nope, nothing to be done. Cool. We did break 600 million population. That's nice. And the radicalism actually didn't really come back all that much, remarkably. But that's fine. So we should absolutely start to see our unemployment start to drop here on this next week tick. That's the idea, anyway. So we're going to be doing battle over here. That's absolutely fine. And yeah, we're going to start getting a lot of construction done. This is going to be very painful to our income. No doubt about that. And this is what I mean by saying throwing the caution to the wind. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be real interesting to see how this ends up going. So we'll get all these queued up, and we're just going to be working through them very, very quickly. At this point, what do we want to do as far as when we end this episode? I mean, to a certain degree, I just kind of want to get all of our construction sectors done and then end the episode. That's maybe a long ways away. I don't know. This is saying 80 weeks. But that number is going to go down dramatically as we finish more construction sectors, right? There's no doubt about that. We're going to be doing more and more construction here all the time to a crazy degree. Like, we've got a bunch of these finishing up in a week here. How are we doing here? 70.5 million? Okay. I'd like to believe that we are currently getting this number to drop. 70.4 million. Well, that does seem to be dropping. Okay, we're up over 10,000 construction now. I think the highest we've ever gotten is like 25,000 when we were playing America. It was kind of nuts and not really something that you should do, for the record. That is definitely not something that I would recommend. Neither is what we're doing here. So this is now down to 56 weeks, now 49. Every week that goes by, this is going to drop a substantial amount. I just want to get our construction sectors finished. So how many pages of these are we doing at a time right now? That's a lot. We're doing 27 pages at a time right now, which is about 10% of our total queue. Noted. Okay. Well, that's definitely going to take a bit to finish out. We're up to 12,000 construction now, and that number is just going to continue to skyrocket. I just want to know how bad this gets. It's going to get pretty bad, I think. We're at minus 4 million, of course, but construction goods, we can always pause our construction, right? It's not that big of a deal. Not that big of a deal at all. So yeah, we're going to be having, we're up to 14,000. This is growing fast. This is now saying 36 weeks on the construction queue. And there's another set of construction sectors finishing, bringing us up to 16,000. And 29 weeks on the queue. That is insane. We're throwing a lot of resources at this, to be clear. Absolutely, we're throwing a lot of resources. But that's okay. Every week, we're finishing up a large number of construction sectors, which opens up construction on even more construction sectors. We're up to 18,000 construction now. Colombia are embargoing us. They can have fun with that. We've got other things that we're working on. Like, for example, construction. Altogether, too much construction. No doubt about that. But look at that. We are down quite a lot of unemployment, actually. And that number will continue to drop. Granted, our welfare payments are not dropping nearly as much as our construction goods costs are going up. That's to be expected. I'm very not surprised by this. How are we doing on our steel at this point? Wood and iron are expensive. We can't get more without conquering more territory, which we're not going to do at this time. We're now up to 23,000 construction, which is altogether too much construction. No doubt about that. We're just going to kind of drive ourselves into bankruptcy at this rate, but this is the last episode. We may as well. So that finishes up, and wow, we just finished 400 constructions on that week. 400 constructions on that week. That's insane. We're now at 26,000. And we are currently building how... Okay, that's all of the construction that we had up here being worked on. Noted. And we're working on the further construction sectors. Okay, we're fine here as far as not needing to move anything around. That's for sure. We are currently constructing... Oh, wow. Okay. We are currently constructing 87, 88, 89... No, hang on. We recalculated. We are constructing 100 out of 169 pages simultaneously. We may as well queue up our oil rigs here. We have 2 of them. Sure. We're up to 33,000 construction now. Of course, we're paying 17.6 million weekly, but that's because we're maxing out our construction, right? Which is bonkers. Maxing out 37,000 construction is insane. Absolutely wild. And I want to get more. We, of course, currently have 2,947 constructions in the queue. Most of them are being constructed simultaneously right now. 37,000. Beautiful. And we're now constructing a grand total of 128 out of 129 pages. Next week, we're going to start to see this number drop. Okay. Cool. So that's absolutely fine. Right now, everything will enter construction. And after that finally recalculates, there we go. There we go. See? That deficit definitely dropped for us. So that's great. Yeah, we're going to have all these construction sectors done very soon. Within like 8 weeks. We're virtually done with them at this point. So that's wonderful. We've got a few more building over here. Let's get this week done. We're at 48,000 construction maximally right now, which is still insane, for the record. That is still absolutely insane. And we'll have all this done very, very soon. We're building so much simultaneously. But we're going to stop this episode, I think, once all of this construction finishes. All these construction sectors, that is. We've gone over, no doubt about it. Some of these had 27 weeks on them. Was that accurate? Did I see that correctly? 27 weeks for construction sectors? Perhaps. Regardless, we see our construction massively dropping off here. We're down to a mere 15,000 out of 61,000. So this is much more manageable on the construction front. That's good. We're going to be done with these synthetics plants in 3 weeks at this point. And arms industries very shortly thereafter. Yeah. So a lot of these are going to finish up. This seems very manageable at this point, honestly. We could get that turned around, I think. We'll have to conquer more territory, but that's not a problem for us, right? We would go attack China, Russia, things like that. At any rate, it's past time to put a cut in here, and I think it's past time for this series to end as well. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, well, there isn't going to be a next episode, because this is the last one. This is a Radical Ionian diplomatic play. Hilarious. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings. I'm not 100% sure what's going to follow this series yet, but I'm kind of thinking maybe like a Rim World or something. We'll see. And a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Andy McGar, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12 UK, Kentogan, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.